If you're a trader, I bet you've spent, I don't know, countless hours hunting for that perfect strategy, right? That one magic indicator, that secret setup that's going to change everything. But what if I told you the real reason you're not seeing consistent results has absolutely nothing to do with your charts? In this explainer, we're going to dig into why your biggest enemy in the market isn't the setup, it's your size. This just gets right to the heart of one of the biggest myths in trading. We're all taught to believe that if we just learn more, if we find a more complex system, that's the key to making more money. But, true success doesn't come from some secret you find out there. It really comes from what's going on inside. And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? If it's not the strategy, then what is it? What's the thing that separates the traders who make it from the huge majority who don't? What allows some people to find that consistency while everyone else is just stuck on this crazy emotional roller coaster? Well, let's get into it. Okay, so the secret isn't out there in the market somewhere. It's right here, between your ears. It's all about understanding this deep, unbreakable connection between how much money you risk and your ability to actually think straight when the pressure is on. It's about mastering your own psychology. I mean, think about it for a second. You could have the most profitable system in the world, a proven edge. But that edge, it's completely useless if you can't execute it flawlessly time and time again. The real goal here is to get rid of all that emotional static. The fear, the greed, the hope, all the stuff that stops you from just doing what you already know you're supposed to do. So how do we get to the root of that emotional static? Well, it all starts with risk. Specifically, what happens inside your brain when that risk gets too big for your nervous system to handle? And this is where things get, they get really primitive. You see, a drawdown on your screen, that's not just a number. To your ancient primal brain, it's a threat. It's a threat to your security, to your well-being. It is literally a tiger in the bushes. And your brain is hardwired with a very specific, and for trading, a very unhelpful, response to predators. This lays out the chain reaction perfectly. It all starts with one simple decision. You trade too big. The second the market starts moving against you, a trigger gets pulled. Your brain senses this huge threat to your financial safety, and boom, survival mode kicks in. All of a sudden, your higher-level logical brain, that's the part that knows all your trading rules, it just gets shut down, and fear takes the wheel. Does that sound familiar at all? I mean, come on, this is the internal voice of a trader who's in full-on survival mode. These thoughts, they feel so logical in the moment, right? Like you're just being smart, protecting yourself. But you're not. They are pure emotional reactions dressed up as logic, and they're all driven by one simple thing. The risk is too big, and the pain of losing feels like it's just too much to handle. So what does this kind of fear-based decision-making actually look like in practice? Well, it shows up as a really predictable set of destructive behaviors. And it's so important to remember, these aren't character flaws. They are the direct symptoms of trading in a state of fear. Just think about these for a second. You hesitate, and you miss a perfect entry. You move your stop loss, and you turn a small, totally manageable loss into a huge, account-damaging one. You grab tiny little profits because you're terrified of giving them back, and then you just have to watch as the trade takes off without you. Or, the worst one, you just freeze and hold on to a loser way past your exit point. Every single one of these classic mistakes comes from the exact same place. Your position size is so big, it's triggering your brain's predator response system. Okay. So if trading too big is the problem, the solution seems obvious, but honestly, it's super counterintuitive for most people. The answer is to trade with a position size that feels almost insignificant, a size your ego might even call boring. How small? Small enough that one loss won't wreck your day. This, right here, is where you find real freedom and control. I mean, just look at the difference here. On one hand, you can be the trader who's totally obsessed with the money, making impulsive, irrational decisions from a place of fear, clinging to this illusion of control. Or you can be the trader who's calm, who's neutral, who is focused on executing their process perfectly, and who is exercising the only control they actually have, control over themselves. The difference is night and day, and it all comes down to your position size. And when you finally make that shift, everything changes. The trades, they stop being so personal. There's no more internal battle to follow your rules because there's no overwhelming fear to override them. You can finally just let your statistical edge do its thing over a long series of trades. And at the end of the day, this is how you build real, lasting consistency. But what about that little voice in your head that says, trading small is for amateurs? You're not really trying if you trade the small. Well, that's your ego talking. Your ego wants to feel powerful. It wants to prove something. But the market is the most humbling place on the planet. It doesn't reward your ego. It rewards discipline and objectivity. Trading small is the ultimate act of discipline. It's choosing your process over your ego. So this brings us to the final and maybe the most important mental shift that you have to make. It means you have to totally redefine what you're actually trying to do every time you sit down at your screen. It's a complete paradigm shift in your main objective. Just let that sink in for a second. In the beginning, your goal isn't to make a profit. It's just to survive. Survival means protecting your capital, of course, but just as importantly, it means protecting your mind from all that emotional damage. It means staying in the game long enough for your skills to grow and your edge to actually compound. When you chase results, you trade too big and you blow up. But when you prioritize survival, you trade small and you create the perfect environment for long-term success. This means we have to completely change our definition of what a successful trade even is. It has absolutely nothing to do with your P&L. A successful trade is one where you followed your rules perfectly, your entry, your stop, and most importantly, your position size. If you do that, you've succeeded, even if that trade lost money. Why? Because you're building the habit of flawless execution, and in the long run, that is the only thing that actually makes money. So this is the question I want to leave you with. Take a good, hard look at your own trading. When you close a trade, is the very first thing you think about how much money you made or lost? Or is it about how well you performed your job, the job of executing your system? Shifting that focus away from the outcome, which you can't control, to the process, which you can. That is the single biggest leap you can ever make as a trader.